Hey everyone, so I've had a number of conversations already this week with people asking me any tips or advice on how to get over phone fear. Have you ever been got with this? You look at the phone, you know you need to pick it up, you know you need to prospect, you know you need to make sales calls, but you've got a bit of admin to do. The kettle's got to be put on, the fridge has got to be cleaned out, all that paperwork has got to be signed off, then you've got to tidy the office, and before you know it, it's home time, and we do anything we can to put off being on the phone. This can be a real spectrum of an issue for people. Some people just put it off, other people can have a physical reaction to being asked to pick the phone up. So I had a great conversation with a client of mine last week about this. They've got a few issues with the team, really great team. When they're on it, they're really good salespeople, but they're just avoiding picking up that phone. So if this has ever been you, I'd like to explain the conversation I had with them because it's really made a difference. So put yourself in this position. You are due to pick up the phone. You know a big part of your role is prospecting for new business. You've got a stack of data to call. All you've got to do is dial that number and say hello, and you freeze. All the data, all the numbers blend into one, your palms go sweaty, you just don't want to do it. It's a trigger event. Something triggers in your head. So I did a bit of a deep dive with the people I was talking about to find out what was going on here, and after listening to a lot of recorded calls, the answer suddenly seemed obvious. If I asked any of them, and I posed this to them and said, pose yourself this question as well, if you were making a delivery to a client, a good client of yours had a delivery on the way, and the delivery driver contacted you and said, we're going to be running an hour late. If you had to phone that client to say, hi, your delivery's on its way, but it's going to be an hour late, would you have any qualms picking up the phone? Would you have any phone fright doing that call? Of course you wouldn't. Nice, simple call. If you were at your lunch break, there's a load of you in the canteen, suddenly clutches their chest, food goes everywhere and they hit the deck, and somebody shouts, call an ambulance, would you go, oh, well, I've just got to tidy my plates away and I've got a bit of admin to do, then I'll call an ambulance? No, you wouldn't. You'd be straight on that phone. You wouldn't think twice about it. You'd have no hesitation. You'd have no phone fright. Why is this? Well, very simply, there's a real purpose for that call. Quite often when I listen to recorded calls and I speak to sales leaders who have given instructions to their sales teams, they make the purpose of these calls an introduction call. We just want to say hello. We just want to start a relationship. Well, this is lovely, but it's fluffy. There's nothing to hang your hat on. How can you feel compelled and enthused, and how can you simplify that call when it's wishy-washy? Look at it this way. You're young, you're in a bar, you see somebody that you like over the other side, and you think, I'm going to go and talk to them. About what? Small talk? We're rubbish at that. Your palms get sweaty, you start to shake, you get all nervous, you get tongue-tied, you try and go over to speak to them, but all of a sudden you're just going to finish that drink, then you're going to have another drink, and then you've got to tie your shoelaces. I'm just going to go for a wee, yeah? And you'll put it off. Why? Because there's nothing to hang your hat on. There's no reason for that conversation. If that person then walked past you out the bar and you saw they dropped their wallet or their purse on the floor, you'd immediately go and pick it up and go, excuse me, you dropped your purse. You wouldn't have any qualm. Why? Why would all those nerves go? Why would you be able to be more confident in doing that? Because you had a solid reason for starting that dialogue, starting that conversation. So here's what we did with the team, and here's what I want you to look at if you're struggling with this phone fright from time to time. 1, simplify your call. Make it a very simple call. And 2, give a very defined reason for that call and give it early on. This means being a bit creative. This means doing some research. But don't phone up to introduce yourself. Hello, my name is and I'm from, and I'd like to talk about we do this, this, this. This is the equivalent of going up to somebody in a bar and saying, hi, my name is, and I drive this car and I do this job and aren't I good at sport and don't I smell lovely? You're going in the bin. You're a bad biff. So do some research or just get to the point. If you had to phone 50 people and say, hi, I was calling specifically because I wanted to arrange a meeting. I want to come and have a coffee with you. I've just finished working with a load of companies in your industry with a great result. I wanted to talk to you about it. It's a nice, simple call. You feel less nervous and there's context for the person that you're speaking to. Go on Google, type in the industry you're phoning, followed by the word news. Find out something relevant online that you can start a conversation with. I wanted to speak to you because I know recently such a company's had a massive hack. We deal with that. So today my job is to speak with 50 companies that we might be able to help. Nice and simple with a clear message. You'll feel more confident, and the person on the other end of the call has got context for that call, so they feel more confident speaking to you. It makes sense. You can't just make small talk. There's got to be a reason for the call. I was calling specifically because I'm on your website right now. I know that you do X, Y, and Z, and it made sense that we had a chat. I want to come and talk to you. Get to the point. Trust me, you'll feel far more confident. You'll get through more calls. You'll get less sweaty palms, and the person receiving that call will welcome it as refreshing, and there's content to it. And success breeds success. The better calls you have, the more confident you'll feel. You'll make more confident calls, and you know what? You'll find out it's actually good fun. And then, of course, you'll earn loads of commission, and you'll be able to buy those shoes. So, next time you're on the phone, which should be right now, go and smash 30 calls in with a really simple, really easy to understand message. Don't be convoluted, don't beat around the bush, don't go around the houses. We do a lot of work within the print industry. I was calling specifically because I wanted to come and have a coffee and a chat with you. Go right at it. You'll feel better. The person on the other end of the phone will feel better. Okay, smash the phones this week. Fill your sales funnel, earn that commission, keep buying those shoes. Cheers, everyone.